And we're live. Hi, and welcome to Gay Out the City. I'm your host, Prince Electro Diamond, and today I am here with burlesque performer, model, and professional athlete Phoenix Lenore, who can be seen at Alibi, the Outcast show at 8:30 p.m. on Friday, and can be seen at Lidwood at Savage Labs Saturday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. It can also be seen at La Boy on Saturday, and it can also be seen on Alibi Sunday at 8:30 p.m. How you doing today, sexy?
Good, good, very good. Thank you so much for having me. So nice to meet
You're
you
welcome,
through
of course.
this
Yeah.
media.
As I said, as I say, with this podcast, I actually took like the craziest way. It's like all of a sudden people like you started started noticing me like down in Miami when I started interviewing people in like LA. All of a sudden everyone was like,
Like, what's going
I
on? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And also, I forgot to mention tonight, I'm gonna be performing. Tonight, I'm gonna be moving my ass more than performing. I'm moving my ass. I'm gonna be going at Hunters. So if you guys wanna check out tonight, I'm gonna be there also moving my ass over there. Forgot to
Oh
mention.
my god.
I never stop.
Well no, damn a bitch is busy. Like, thank you for fitting me in. Like because I mean
No. Well,
that is
you let me know a long time ago. So it's like if you give me time in advance, I put it on my schedule and like
yeah.
I'm not gonna move it. So
'Cause
yes.
I could not keep that crazy of a schedule. As I was telling you, my like quote unquote busy schedule before we started, I could not do that much. There's at one point I said I wanted to do this every day, and I'm like, no, I could not do that. I just,
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe you will, but
yeah,
from one day to another one, be like that is a little hard. Little by little, it's a little easier.
I'd need a research team. Like that would probably be like
Yeah.
the thing. Like because as
Yeah,
I
doing
say,
everything by yourself is a little hard sometimes. It's
yeah,
like you have to take care of everything. I'm an entrepreneur as well, so it's kind of like I do
yeah,
everything by myself. And yeah, it's hard. When you
yeah,
have some friends help you out, it's like the best
yeah.
thing.
I will say that much. If anyone thinks like there's a team of people hitting you up in your DMs, no, it's me. Like
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
ain't, yeah, work. So where are
Yes.
you? So where are you originally from?
So I was born in Argentina, Mendoza, exactly, Mendoza, Argentina, and I'm coming from a family, Italian Argentinian. My dad is Italian. My mom is Argentinian, and I grew up half of my life in Argentina, half in here, basically.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
work. See, as I always say, like Florida is like a great place for people who have moved here. As someone who's lived here all my life, I want to leave so
Yes,
bad.
that's definitely, definitely. No, but this has been my home for like over, 15, 17 years. So it's kind of like,
Wow.
um, I love this place. I mean, all my family lives here, by the way. Like, kind of like
Yeah.
my dad was the first one to immigrate here, and then like my mom, my brothers, like, aunts, cousins, like a lot
Yeah.
of, yeah. Hmm.
So I mean, I've lived in other parts. I lived in Orlando for 4 years. So I lived, as I
In
say, the
Orlando?
craziest. Yeah, I lived in Orlando for 4 years,
Oh,
and I did. That was something where it's like I needed to end. I needed to end my time in Orlando because like I knew I needed to come back home and like I'm living at home. I needed to come back home, save up enough money, and like get out of Florida because I just know
mm-hmm. Where are you planning to go after Florida? I mean, where are you at now?
where am I at now. I'm in Jensen
For,
Beach, as I told you. So like I'm in South Florida.
oh, okay. I
Yeah.
need to set up this freaking camera. So no, I don't know if I know that place to be honest. I
No,
haven't been
most
there.
people don't. That's why I need to move to a city. I need to be closer to gay life.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all need it a little bit.
Because I don't go out much. Like, because
I
say
don't.
Miami's like a place I can go like once every other month. Because like, who's got the time to like drive an hour and a half down to Miami, like
Yeah, no, no.
come
And
back home? Yeah,
I lived in Miami for a few years, and we never gonna come back. Only for having fun and like it says like just, but not living. No, no, no. So many Latins
yeah,
just like just talking shit.
yeah. So, what was it like for you growing up as a kid?
What's in my life growing as a kid? It was very fun. I could tell. I could tell it was very fun. My mom used to work a lot, and my grandma used to have a dance studio. She used to have like a huge dance studio that I remember used to be my playground. So basically, I grew up dancing, let's say, but dance always was part of my like playtime, let's say. I never took it
Right.
professional, never like did like anything like until then I grew up. But growing up it was good, it was happy, it was like I was a little poor, family very, very, like very hard workers. All my family very,
Yeah.
very hard workers, like not much money. I always have everything I needed. My mom was divorced when I was 4 years old, so it's kind of like I kind of became the man of the family at the age of four. So
Wow.
yeah, that kind of like pushed me forward a lot. So, I mean, I'm thankful for that. Like, I feel like that gave me a lot of maturity that I can apply in the future. At the beginning, I didn't understand
Right.
anything, but growing up was like it wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy. I feel like I grew up in a beautiful family, and I think that's such a bless, that having that. Um, but yeah, I was very, very good accepted also by my family, and primarily for my mom, of course. I grew up with her a lot.
Right.
And when I was little, like my dad moved here, so it's kind of like he was far from me. Like he was like living in the United States, and I was in Argentina. So it's
Right.
kind of like I grew up without my dad, let's say. With that, but far. You know what I mean? We were in contact and everything. But I put all my life into art since I was very little. Like that was like I don't know, my grandpa is like he's like a painter that like he do art in canvas and like
Yeah.
huge, like a very famous like artist in Argentina. And he taught me a lot of that. So I learned a lot of color theory with him. And then my grandma dance studios, I dance, and then my mom taught me everything I know. So it's kind of like it was nice. It was nice. That's how I grew up. Like kind of like always doing something, a lot of sports, a lot of dance, no drugs or alcohol until I became old. At the beginning of my life, it's kind of like it was very, very clean.
Same. Oh, yeah. I mean, I get that. Like putting in. First of all, whenever you do like arts like professionally, like you never like love them as much. Like I know that because like I'm a singer and I was like in choir as a kid, and I was always the kid that got in trouble
Hmm.
because in my mind still I think I'm Mariah Carey. So like I
Oh
would do
my
the
God. Why
I
you
I
have to
would
say Mariah Carey? Particular Mariah Carey? She's my favorite. Watch out.
it's like I would do like okay fine I'll say Christina Aguilera. I would do like the I would do like vocal slides, and then the choir teacher would be looking at me. I'm like, what? That's what my voice does. Like,
Yeah, yes,
but
yes. But that's so good. That's the moment that you start kind of like having awakening, like personal
yeah,
awakening. I was like, oh, I have like a little power that is not, it could be not seen right, but I
right,
know inside of me it's like more than right, you know. It's
of course.
it's weird. It's weird, yeah.
I learned that I love standing out, and like that's why I continue to this day.
Yes, absolutely,
Or
yes. Yeah, we believe from I mean, I think like we like belong to that part. Like I love it too. And sometimes people tell me like, oh, you like to be a center of attention and blah blah blah. And I don't feel that at all. It's like actually when I go to places, I'm super quiet and like
Yeah.
I like to, like I don't know. I feel like my place is the stage to show everything. But if I'm out of stage, I'm like, look,
Yeah.
black. I'm
Yeah.
super chill and like I love to learn, what's going on around me, you know.
And that's when you tell people, like, when people are like, you like attention, it's like, I'm a performer, no fucking shit, I like attention, of course, like,
Yeah, but it's not about like kind of like yeah, they say it, but kind of like they say like okay, I want to be in the middle of everybody doing like this. Hey, look at me, look at me. No, it's not that attention. The attention
no.
is like through art.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what was it like for you coming out?
Mm. It was very fun. It was good. I mean, I have no complaints about it. I came out at the six. I was 16 when I came out with my mom. And I says, "Mom, I'm, I'm with someone." And why did I decide to tell her that? Because kind of like I fall in love with my first boyfriend, um, and kind of like we were together like a 3 4 months, and I was like totally in love, like my first love. The first love. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about, right? And actually, we were together like 5 years after that. And I told my mom, like, Mom, like I'm seeing somebody, like, and she says, like, who is that? Like, Karen? Literally, Karen is my best friend. That's her name. That's hilarious. And I was like, no, Mom, no. It's like, Rodrigo, you know. And kind of like everything, you know what my mom says? You're not gonna believe it. It's like, okay, so you know how you gotta take care of you um for your health, right? Sexual
Right.
health. That's
Right.
like the only thing that she mentioned. And I think that was great. I was 16 years old and she told me, listen, do you know how you take care of your fucking ass, right? To don't get um your health compromised. And I says, yeah, I know. Are you sure? Yeah, I guess I know. Okay, so if you know, that's the only thing that you have to know about it. And the next Sunday after that, that's everything that we says. Like she says, like, okay, do you know that? Okay, she hugged me and says, like, all right, I'm here, it's fine. You gotta be careful with that. And we're talking about many years ago. I'm 36. This was 16, let's say 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, a lot of diseases were different as well. And be those kind of like, chronic problems and all that stuff,
Right.
they've been like seen totally different. More in Argentina, it's like totally old school shit.
Yeah.
And after that, the next Sunday, which is of course Latin family, Latin Italian family, Sunday lunch, all my family together, we sitting, eating pasta, of course. And my mom stand up and says like, all right, I have something to say. When she say that, I was like, I'm gonna pee myself. I'm gonna shit myself. I'm like, what the fuck she's doing? And you know what she says? It's like, listen, so Gonzalo is my first name.
Yeah.
The name that my family call me, like,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, blah blah. Gonzalo, he's gay. Um, if someone have to say something, have to say it right now. And if someone has a problem, me and my son, we're gonna be out of this family. So is everything okay? That's what she says in front of everybody. That's what she says in front of everybody. I was like freaking out because I was 16 years old. I just told my mom, and kind of like everyone stand up and hug me, and I kind of like, oh, we love you, and blah blah blah. That was such a like, I don't know. Like my mom became my hero that day. Like hero, hero, hero. I just like kind of like want to cry when I remember that. And nothing. Everyone was come here and like, oh, blah blah blah, and then nothing. Then things, family come to you, approach you, and ask you weird questions and stuff. But that's how was my coming out story. Like, and then when I was 18, many years, like 2 years later, I used to come here every year for vacations because my dad used to live here.
Yeah.
So I wait until I turn 18, and I used to come here for literally between 1 and 3 months vacations, long vacations. You know, Latin people like take fucking long vacations, right? So I took like a long vacation here, and that year, the last day before moving, coming back to Argentina, to my school and shit, I was like, Dad, I need to talk to you. I was like, yeah, what happened? And that's why I tell him, like, listen, I'm a fucking faggot. I don't know. It's kind of like, it's just like, what? This is your mom's fault. It's like, no, no, no. Watch out. Chill out a little bit. I'm gay, and it's because I want to be gay, and nothing else like put me in these shoes, but myself. You know, I want to. And then he told me like, okay, I accept that, but I don't respect it. You know, I don't respect it, but I accept it. Even though that was bullshit because my dad loves me and he take care of me and protects me since that day like never before. And kind of like but I was such a pussy. I wait until the last day of my vacations because I was those vacations that year I was thinking every single day how to say it to him, you know. Because my dad was used to be in the army and shit. So it's kind of like, you know, and nothing. He opened up and kind of like he hugged me. He started crying, I think, and told me like, "Oh, I love you. I always knew it, but I didn't want to say. You know, your stepmom told me about it, but I didn't want to accept that, and blah blah blah." And and nothing. That's how I came out. That was like my two parts, mom and dad. 'Cause they were
See,
divorced, so
right. See, I give it to you. Having to tell two parents, I, in some ways, say I was a little bit fortunate because I only had to come out to one parent
okay.
because
It's
because I
half of
came
the work.
because I came out 4 months after my mom died. So it was just my dad and my sister who I had to come out to, who were both accepting.
How old you were?
How old? I was 18.
Uh-huh.
So that's the good part. We're about to take a twist for the bad part.
Mm.
So I came out to a youth minister at the church was a mistake because I told him about this performance idea I had with like a knife and how I'd practiced stabbing myself because I'm dramatic, clearly.
Of course.
And he left the room. He came back in about 10 minutes later. He said, "You have one of two options. Either you're coming with me or I'm calling the cops."
Wow.
And I'm like, now in hindsight, now knowing what he did to me, I would have let him call the cops, but I was scared. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
let's
mentioned
go.
cop and you're scared.
Yeah. So I went with him to get a psychological exam.
Mm.
I passed it, and then he lied to make it seem like I was lying on the exam. And as a result, I got locked in a mental institution for 64 hours.
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm serious.
Oh shit. That's fucked up.
100%.
It's fucked up. Wow.
And then like after I got out and he got caught, he set me up with this therapist who was a counselor for the church. They tried to make it seem like it was therapy and everything, but they tried to like pray the gay away. Yeah.
Do not make me talk.
Yeah.
Wow. That was intense.
I mean, this was the thing. This is what I say to them. I'm thinking, y'all were fucking stupid. Because it's like, what you just did was you told me, okay, clearly y'all don't have my best interest. So when I actually started having sex at the age of 20, I just made terrible decisions.
That's what they do. That's what they do. When they put you in that situation, fuck your mind, and then we start taking wrong decisions because we think unconsciously that something is wrong with us.
Yeah.
So it's like, You know, such a word the parents has, like, they have to, like, it's very delicate, the work that they're supposed to do, and they if they fuck it up, they fuck it up big time with us, because
Yeah.
this other repercussions are in the future afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that all that shows you is that like any gay person you want to like convince that you're all about love, that's not showing love. That's showing that we have to change this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, and it's all like a weird unconscious part, because kind of like the fact that we're not being accepted, kind of like
Yeah.
unconsciously we project that.
So I'm trying to think about how to ask this next question. So I guess okay,
Straightforward.
so what was it like moving to, I guess we'll call it the Miami Fort Lauderdale area because technically that's kind of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Theoretically, yeah.
Um, how was, like, what do you mean? Like, which way? Like, when I got
As in
close to.
like yeah, so like when you originally moved to America, did you move to this area or were you like in a different area to begin with?
Well, actually, I was like in Miami Lakes at the beginning,
Oh, okay. So
so it was like south, and I normally stay like south, like south in Miami at the
yeah,
beginning, and then I moved to Hollywood, sorry, Hallandale. It's a little more
yeah,
north to Miami, but always in South Florida. And I live after several years, like 5 years ago, I live in Orlando, like for a few months only. But then I got bored, so it's kind of like,
well, of course, Orlando's now what I would say now. Orlando's now what it used to be. That's why I'm so glad I moved away because like
hmm
literally their like biggest and best club there
yes,
is no longer open, which was Parliament House.
hmm
Like, so now it's like, why would anybody want to live in Orlando? Like,
yeah, no, it's like, I mean, Orlando is good for the parks, and that's it.
yeah,
I feel like attractions, park attractions, and after that, it's boring.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, but when I get closer to this area, it was like very. I mean, I never wanted to live in Wilton Manors for Lauderdale. I had the chance to do it, but I feel it would be a little bit too much for me. Kind of like in the way that I don't know. There's so many bars and so much party, and I don't know. Like I said, I work during the day as well. It's kind of like I try to work all the hours that I can. I feel if I move very, very like in winter manners, I would be only able to work at night. You know, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I will say this as someone who never had any desire to move further south in Florida. I, I, I guess I can understand wanting to move more north because, like,
hmm I mean, I always say something like, "Let's get close, but not mix." Kind of
yeah,
like, let's be close, but not mix it. So that's what I'm living in Pompano. Like I'm literally 10 minutes from Wilton Manors, but I'm not in Wilton Manors. If not, I would
yeah.
be in the bar from one bar to another bar, like because that's what I am, and I love it. So it's kind of like I have to adjust myself to, you know, keep moving forward in life.
No, I know where Pompano is. I about a year ago, I hooked up with a guy down there, and like,
It was me. It was me.
I don't remember it. I don't
Me
remember it being you.
neither. Okay.
No, I would have came back if it was you.
Okay, okay. You better. You better. You never
No,
call me back.
But of course, being a thicker bitch, of course, I've primarily been with Black and Latino guys. Shocker there. Like
Of course.
that's why that's why when I moved, that's why I say I didn't lose my virginity till I moved to Orlando, like when I was in the hood, because like
Hmm.
I used to get hit up all the time, like all the time.
Of course. I imagine. Yes.
Work. So, what made you want to become a burlesque performer?
That's a good question because um, I don't even know if I consider myself as a burlesque performer, but um, I feel now I'm transitioning in that part of the performance life. Kind of like,
Right.
because I've been on stage for since I was very little, so it's kind of like now in the last 3 years, I decide to expand and kind of like investigate more about the burlesque. But
Right.
literally, I feel like burlesque between you and me and everybody who will listen this is the perfect combination between art and being a whore. You know, kind of like you can get naked artistically and erotic, and also you can work in nice productions, and you can work in a storyline of your performance. And it kind of like I feel like it give you it's like a very open discipline where you can add so many elements, and I love
Yeah.
that. I'm a very free spirit guy. So it's kind of like I did for a long time, like million years ago. When I used to live in Argentina, I used to like I worked like 7 years as a drag queen, believe it or not. That was my main job.
Word.
And nothing. It's kind of like I've been before that. I used to just dance in theaters and do like musicals and ballet and all that bullshit. And then kind of like I moved forward, and then I kept dancing, and now I'm in the stage. I was like, wow, I just find burlesque, which is very beautiful because I feel I can put all the things I've been doing in my life in one performance.
Right.
So if I want to make makeup, you want to do feathers, you want to dance, you want heels, you want flats, you want naked, you want clothes. You can do whatever with less. So it's kind of like it's a very beautiful and it's very artistic. So it's kind of like that's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. First of all, I actually appreciate you like saying that you're like more you march to the beat of your own drum, which is something I love because as a performer, like even as a drag performer, how I started because most of the girls were like, "Oh yeah, I started in the gay clubs with all my best friends." No, I started in open mic nights and straight bars. So like
Hmm.
because I'm a musician, so like
Yeah, that's your root. Yes.
yeah, that's where like and like I make electronic music, so like I was very left of center of what everybody else was doing. Like everybody else would come in with their like guitars and like play their stuff, and I'd hand the like host of the night, I'd hand them my iPod with like my tracks on there, and I'm like,
Love it.
and yeah, and I love standing out. The only time, as I said, the straight bar I performed at mainly, the owners only had problems with me one time. So I had screamed motherfucker into the microphone at the end of one of my songs to like close out my night one night. And then the following week I got told by the owners not to do that. I'm like, I'm not doing that this week. I'm not repeating myself. Because to this day, I'm still the
Hmm.
performer. I do not like repeating sets. I like rotating everything.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Because it's like, granted, yes, you get a lot of tourists if you're in like Orlando or Miami, but you also get a lot of regulars who come to see you every week when you perform.
Correct. Yeah, you gotta manage that.
Yeah.
Mostly when you work a lot, you gotta like try to balance that because you wanna make everybody happy. including yourself. Number one,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you want to repeat, or you want to maybe do something similar with something different, a little extra spice, or yeah, I feel you. I feel the same. I like to rotate stuff. Sometimes when you work a lot and stuff, it's just like, okay, I'm going to repeat, but you have to know which are the boundaries that in order to repeat. If you're gonna repeat, make sure it's a different crowd, make sure it's a different venue, it's a different day of the week, Because people who go out on Monday normally on Sundays they doing something different. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like that's the part of the evaluation that you have to do previous evaluation when you perform. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do this? Because let's say like in Saturday, like I said, this next Saturday, I literally have 8 performances besides my daily work that I teach classes for people's special needs. I teach in school. I teach
Uh,
dance classes. That's my regular daily job, one of my daily jobs. And so I have 8 performances, and I was like, "Fuck, what I'm gonna do? I can't bring. I don't have like a huge. I gotta bring like if I want to do something different, I gotta do like 10 different suitcases with with stuff. It's impossible because once that I leave my house, I don't come back. So
yeah.
that's the moment you gotta manage a little bit where you're gonna repeat, where you're gonna do, and that. Yes, definitely, it's a challenge sometimes.
See, 8 is crazy. The most I used to do when I lived in Orlando, I used to do 2 shows a night, Thursday night. So, but they were what you would consider in like the Miami area. I would get done early.
Hmm.
For me in Orlando, since everything closes at like 2 a.m. anyway, I would get done kind of. So I would leave my house at 7 p.m. and I
Hmm.
wouldn't get home till 12:30 a.m. So like
Yeah.
that I know in Miami that's considered early, but like for me in Orlando that was considered late.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Depending also the venues and stuff, some places start earlier, and at
Yeah.
midnight you're already done for the night. Can't do anymore.
But that was too much cuz like there was one week I had to completely change my set
Hmm.
when I went to the second bar, which was Parliament House, where I used to perform after the straight bar, because I had pulled a muscle on my back, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to dance at this next show. So literally, what I did was I'm like, I know how to fucking sing. I don't have to do all this like dancing around and stuff. Let me just do
Hmm.
like Mariah Christina moments, sit and sing. Like I can fucking do it.
Hmm.
Like I might as well do it.
Which one is your favorite song from Mariah Carey?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
I would say the one that I just did. It's one of my favorite songs to do. Is My All.
Oh, yes, of course. That's a freaking
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
It's a great one.
I actually just did a cover of that song on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it.
That's so beautiful. I love that song. It's,
Because I was kind of like sick that like beginning of that weekend, and I'm like I am well enough to like sit on a stool and sing, but I'm not well enough to move around. So I'm like,
correct.
let me just put out some stuff. And I will say it's very interesting because a lot of my fans are used to me doing this. So like giving them a chance to see me as a singer as well and like as a musician is
Hmm.
something I've loved doing.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because
And that's
some of
I
them,
think that's part of the challenge for us as an artist that
yeah,
develop. If you cannot do something, just deliver something different, and doesn't have to be 100% always. It could be 100% in another way, like
yeah,
sitting, spotlight, microphone. That's it.
yeah.
You know.
And if you can actually like, if you, as I say, if you have pipes, that's all you need. You don't need all the dancing and all the like. No,
No.
I mean it's great. I love doing that. I love the feeling of like having a headset mic on my face and like just being able to like dance and perform around. But I can also sit down. and sing and get that same like feeling.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because it's about what is inside, I feel. Comes from
Yeah.
the inside more than the outside.
So, okay, I kind of discussed it with you, so I'll just ask you. So, what was it like the first time you performed?
For first time?
I would say the first time. We'll go with the first time, like kind of like burlesque. I'll make it easier on you.
Okay. No, because if I'll tell you first time, it will be a long time ago. I was
Yeah,
very, very little. I think I
yeah,
was in diapers, just so you know.
yeah, yeah. I'll make it
Um,
easier on you. Yeah, go on.
okay, burlesque. Um, like 2 years ago, kind of, around 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, like not too long. Um, but it's so funny because 2 years ago until today, my burlesque performances are totally different. Totally different. Now I kind of like, I don't know, I can, well, like everything, as much you do it, feel it, you better you feel, and you can add more stuff. But yeah, it's been like 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. Talking about only burlesque, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, if you look, as I say, if you look at my evolution from when I started doing drag in 2015 to now, I literally went from 2015 to wearing clothes to now dressing half naked in drag. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, you start feeling more
yeah,
confidence and you start, yeah, you're feeling it.
yeah. And like developing security in my body. Like, be
Mm-hmm.
having that like notion of like, if you don't like the way that my body looks, you don't gotta fucking stare at me. That's the way that I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And even though like I feel like the subject of um beauty is very misunderstanding, misunderstood, like kind of like I don't know. People, general people think that beauty looks one way, and beauty is everywhere. They don't know that, and I wish like everybody could see things the way I see it, um, related with beauty, because you just mentioned it, and I feel it's like a very, even that I'm very, very like I want to go to the gym, I want to do my abs, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But my knowledge about beauty it goes way farther than that. You know,
Right.
it's
And
totally different.
it's like the craziest thing, the one thing that I always so towards the end, like I press like end stream and then like I take all this off obviously for the guests so they can actually see what I look like underneath all this clown
Oh,
foolishness. And I actually had somebody a few weeks ago who was my friend who's like had never seen me out of drag and like
mm,
and like I took everything off and he's like, wow, you're really attractive. I'm like, thank you.
yes, absolutely. Listen, I feel like I don't know. Like it says, beauty. Everyone could be beautiful for someone. For someone, you know. Like
Right.
let's say I feel very ugly. I'm the ugliest person in the world. One person at least will think that I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't say that because it's important, because honestly, I don't give a shit what people think about my beauty. But this is going through the people who really think that, or what they really like expecting that from the audience or from the outside. I feel like, listen, you feel ugly, fuck that shit. This is not ugly. This is just like you haven't found someone who really likes the way you are. That's it. Doesn't mean anything. And I don't know, kind of like, but it's a long subject. I could talk for hours. Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, the fact that I work with people with disabilities,
Right.
that held me in a way that I don't know. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Well, just to, like, cap this off, I'm gonna say this, like, the feelings of having, like, that feeling inside of I feel ugly. I'm not sure this works for everybody, but at least for me, not being like the conventionally attractive person to like the standard of the world, it forced me to work on my personality,
Mm-hmm.
and in my opinion, made me more of an interesting person. Because like
Mm-hmm.
if you're like always constantly told that you're beautiful and like that's all you think of yourself, you don't have to like use your brain or use your
Absolutely.
mind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, other thing like people use you just for your beauty. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like they just want to fuck you. That's it. They don't want any type of connection. They don't. It's hard to find friends. Because friends think that you want to fuck with them. And I was like, not me, but in general,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens that a lot. And yeah, definitely like the non-conventional beauty. I feel like either ways, I feel like all that is changing. Little by little, it's getting better.
Yeah. And that's good. Like, but as I say, like standing out, it's better to stand out. Everyone wants to conform. Standing out as a performer, if you don't have any artistic talents, I can understand where standing out might be hard. As a performer, that's what you want because everybody's not paying it. Because I will
Mm-hmm.
say this, how am I gonna say this? I get myself in trouble. I have to think. Hold on. No, I'm gonna be real. Fuck it.
Thank you.
Don't get me wrong. I love Go-Go Boys. Go-Go Boys are great. Fantastic. But they're also a dime a dozen. I'd rather see something that like Phoenix is doing, where it's like
Hmm.
that more like extravagant, like different
Yes.
thing.
Yes. No, absolutely. It's different. It's different. Even though, let me tell you, I don't go that much lately. But even though with a go I I have people come to me and says like, "Oh my God, you move so fucking good. You're so fucking weird. Like how you move." And I was like, "Thank you." Like in go-go dancing, it's like sometimes I work so much and like I have so many hours of dance during the week, but I feel go-go dancing sometimes could be a great therapy because literally you go there and just like do whatever you fucking want.
Yeah,
You feel the music, you feel beautiful, and it's a different type of art. It's totally different. It's totally different. Things like I don't know, like sometimes like it's like you say. I prefer to see more performances than see one guy with no costume dancing for 30 minutes. It's kind of like
right. It's much like now, like I'm the person who's like a lot of people like love going out to clubs. I This is me being a little like bit of an egotistical narcissist. I'll admit this. I only love going out when I'm performing, but that's just me.
mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. I understand that.
Yeah.
I could be very like that. I could be very like that. Um, I'm recently broke up with my boyfriends that we got like 3 years together, and now I just like kind of like start because before I used to just go out and just work, and if I'm gonna get a drink, it's because I'm working and blah blah. But lately,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm like kind of like enjoying a little bit of that. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna put myself out there without have to work, which is
Right.
another challenge for me because, like I said, I'm very productive. I don't like to waste money. I love to do the opposite of that. So it's kind of like going out. Sometimes my brain tell me, "Oh, come on, it's not necessary." Just like, but yeah, it is necessary. We have to connect with people. Sometimes we have to, know. I don't know. I'm in that process right now that not everything is work. I haven't solved that problem yet, but I'm on my way. Kind of like
But at least when you're out at bars, for the most part, you're working. This is what
yes, yes,
this is.
true.
This is one thing where this is probably why I will say I will never move to LA, because like I do not understand that culture of you're going to a party and you're going to a club just to be there and that's work. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like
Hmm.
that to me, that sounds like, so you're going to a party but it's work? Like
Well, it seems
I
like
don't
we
know.
work in the entertainment industry, so it kind of like, I mean, it's not my fault that my job is super fun. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not. No, you're actually performing. I'm talking about people who just show up to a
Just
club to
job.
show up to a club. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I'm not talking about entertainers who are performing. If you're performing,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
makes sense.
Yes, yeah,
That's your
no,
job.
yeah, like just like regular people going out without like just
Yeah,
regular like
and you
clients.
do that for networking. I'm like, this
Eh,
is why I have gone like a complete like 360 on my thoughts of LA. I went from like thinking I will never move to LA to I might move to LA to now I never want to move to LA. So it's like I did a complete 360. I'm
yeah,
like
well, let me tell
no.
you, sometimes when I go out without having to work and I'm sitting in the bar watching the show of you know, my friends,
Yeah.
it could happen that the manager pass through and see you and book you, So it's kind of
Yeah.
like the networking there could work, and it happened to me several times. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go out. It's like kind of like, I'm not feeling it too good here. I need to move my energies. And then I show up somewhere. I got a drink, and then one random guy says, "Hey, listen, I have a private event. You perform that day?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then out of the blue, you get like another gig. So it could work. It could work.
Yes.
Could work. Could
I
work.
get that. The other thing is, so to the other side. So I was mentioning Salma to you off camera. So like Salma basically told me, she's like, when I was talking about like getting booked for gigs, she's like, if you're gonna be booked for these gigs, you're gonna have to like basically like wear like a gown and lip sync. And in my head, I didn't say this out loud. I literally thought hard pass. I do not want to do that
Hmm.
because that's not my drag. Like, and
Yeah,
it's like,
that's a weird subject, honestly, because
yeah.
can I talk Shaq a little bit? So I don't know if
Go
you
ahead.
want
Go
to.
fucking
No,
ahead. I
but
don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
some people in the industry, they like to book you and as well limitate you as a performer. And please don't do this. Please do this. Please don't try this. And I was like, what the fuck are you fucking calling me? Book somebody else. You know what I mean? Don't book me to tell me what to do with my performances.
Yeah.
And this weekend, one of the person I'm going to be working on it is like that. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, I hate that. But you know what? That's the way how we show professionalism. And you know what I says? All right, baby, whatever you need, literally, so that way I can show my professionalism. And I was like, but to myself, I said, I'm never going to work again. You know what I mean? Kind of like, I
Yeah.
don't like limitations. That's what I'm in this country, I leave my country because of that. I need to win. I need to express my win. I'm not saying this country is freedom, absolutely freedom, but at least
No.
it helps you to give you a little bit more independence with your work. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
But as I will say, like, yes, I get. So, do I get where conforming could help? Yes. Do I feel like do I feel like doing this and like doing stuff on my own is gonna show people more of me and therefore gonna eventually add up to something? Absolutely. So it's,
Yes,
as somebody said, you have to love the artistry that you do. And if you don't love it, it's
absolutely.
going to show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I always say that to my students. I says, enjoy what you do, even just mistakes. When you do mistakes on stage, enjoy them. People are not gonna even notice. They don't know what you're doing,
Yeah,
but they feel your energy. You know,
right.
people feel it, man. People feel it.
So, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you when you were performing?
Hmm. Honestly, one day I was performing and I used to have problems with one of the DJs. No problems, but I always ask him to don't push the flashlight when I'm
Yeah.
dancing and stuff because I'm a time performance. Like I have a little, I have a background in gymnastics, so I do acrobatic stuff as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did a backflip. They put the flash. I didn't see the floor, and I land with this part of my body, literally on the floor.
Ooh.
And that was the worst because I literally land on the floor, and I promise I wasn't drunk, I wasn't high or anything. I did the backflip, and I land with this, and then I stand up. I remember I was wearing like lashes, and I took the lashes. I take it off. The wrong part is like I took my own ones too, and I took everything off.
Ooh.
The show finished, and I was feeling like this, like something was going down, dripping down. And then I went up to the Camerino right away to the backstage, and nothing. I fucked up my here. I have like a mark, like it's cut in here. That's the worst thing
Yeah.
that happened to me because kind of like I was like a huge accident, and I kept performing until the end, and then my blood was like this, like going down with no eyelashes, like horrible.
Okay, so the craziest thing that happened to me, let's see. You may or may not know this bar. It's not necessarily in like the Miami area, but it's a little bit like outside of West Palm Beach. Have you heard of Propaganda?
Hmm.
Okay. So, I was performing at Propaganda. I was done with my song, and like, for people who don't know, the entire bottom half of Propaganda and the stage is black.
Hmm.
So wearing sunglasses, it's already hard enough to see when you're getting off stage. So I took one step, took another step. I missed the third step. I landed forward on my knee. Luckily, I was wearing pants, so like I didn't do anything, but I did break my shoe,
Wow.
and I still finished the night.
You finished that, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Wow. Yeah, that's like well, something else last year, something crazy that happened to me last year. Um, I was performing at the Hollywood Pride, and that was a huge stage. And of course, I always have to do something stupid. And I jump and fly away from the stage to the main stage because it was the main stage in the middle of a street. So it's kind of like all the people over there. And I was like, yeah, the stage is so good, but I need a little more connection with the people. So I jump, and when I land, I twist my ankle the worst
Ooh,
way.
ow.
But it was like a very high stage. So imagine 200 pounds of body landing on my freaking ankle. And then I stand up and I didn't even fucking, all my family was there, my brother, my mom, my stepdad, everybody watching. And I was like, I'm performing Feeling Good, that song. And I was like, I'm not feeling good. I don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't even know if I could keep walking. So I started walking a little bit with a lot of pain. It was very painful. Very, very painful. After that, I got took off like for 3 weeks. That was terrible. That was very, very traumatic situation. After that, I have to go to after party of fucking Hollywood Pride, and to perform over there, I did it with my ankle broke, and after that, I mean, the next day I had to go there, doctor, and like crunches and all this shit, and I kind of like I gotta take a break. But that was crazy. That was last year. That was fucking crazy. That was so
How
hard.
on how on earth did you go? Oh shit! Damn. Shit. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. Everything
Okay.
disappeared.
Anyway, not a problem. Okay. So my thing is like that's crazy. Like, how did you like do that? Because like, if you could barely walk, like,
And the after
yeah,
hour was a
yeah,
nightmare. The only thing I remember is to ask for more vodka. I was like, please just bring me vodka. And I was like, because it wasn't even performing the after hour. After hour was like go-going dancing. So it wasn't like 3 minutes performance. It was like 30-minute
have,
sets.
yeah,
So it was very painful. I took a lot of painkillers, not the hardcore ones, no opiates or shit like that. So like Advil and bullshit that they don't do anything, and vodka. That's how I survived the after party from Halloween Pride last year. I never gonna forget. Never gonna forget. It was very painful. Like for real.
See, I know foot pain because I have it now. So like what happens is I have bone spurs in the heels of both of my feet. So
Mm,
if I'm standing too long or if I'm like if I'm walking too much, it feels like somebody's stabbing me in the foot with a knife or
mm.
yeah,
And which part of the knife? And which part of the foot? Like in the
the
ankle?
heel, the heel.
Hmm.
So literally like this actually comes to my drugs and alcohol question. So I'll tell you this part. So back before I
Hmm.
got health insurance for
Hmm.
4 months, I had to deal with the pain and like I just couldn't deal with it. So I was taking like 18, 24 ibuprofen a day.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was in that much pain.
Have you see those things that they don't even make effect sometimes? The pain don't go away.
No, that's why you keep on popping more because you think it's going to go away, but it doesn't.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. No, no, no. It's very super traumatic. And everybody was so afraid and so scared because I'm a person who literally, I don't know, like I could have pain, but I like a little pain, you know, so it's kind of like, it's fine. But that one was very traumatic.
Yeah,
And also because compromise all my fucking work, daily
yeah.
work. I teach, imagine like I have like, I don't know, 20 classes a week that I have to teach before, besides my, like performances. It's kind of like, that was a
So yeah,
lot of,
so you can't do anything, right?
no. Therefore was when I came out and I says, I need someone to cover me in case that something happens. That's when it come like, when you have a problem, then you gotta need solution, you figure it out. So it's kind of like, that's when I got my, like a second teacher assistant for
Yeah,
that work. So it's kind of like, if something happened to me, okay, I have someone who covered me.
but see, like I get that like thing of now why you probably work so much is because of the fact of like I will say I know this as a performer, like when you have to step back and you physically can't work because like
Mm.
with those bone spurs, like people said, were you performing at that point? I'm like, I could barely walk. So no, I wasn't doing anything. I was literally coming home, icing my feet every day just to be able to like get through my 8-hour shift the next day at my job. Like, no,
Mm,
I was not performing at all. I could not do anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pain could be very tricky, and that's why I also like. I always encourage my family, my friends, and everybody to get into activities and exercises,
Mm,
any type of movement exercises is really necessary for the evolution of the human being. The evolution, when
yeah,
I say evolution, means like when we're getting older, we want to be good. We don't want to be worse every year. We want to be okay until the last days of our life. We want to be like be able to do whatever we want. We don't want limitations for our body. But
right.
this is the moment to do it. And people sometimes don't think about it. I fight with my brother many times. Telling him, listen, go to the gym, put your muscles in point, try to do this, right? And but anyways, it's kind of like I feel it's very important. Like everybody have to do something physical, whatever you want. You want to swim, you want to walk, you want to run, you want to fuck, you want to whatever you want to do. Just do some activity.
No, I know it. Because literally I work a desk job now, so like in order to make sure that like I'm still in movement, I actually get up crazy early.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am up because of like I have like a commute into work. Like I have a 40-minute commute into work and I have to like have time to like leave. So I'm up every day during the week at 4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very early.
Yes.
That's not even early. That's kind of like late from the last night.
Yeah, I know. You probably falling asleep when I'm waking up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I normally don't go to. I try to go to sleep that late, kind of like 2 a.m. is try to be my
yeah.
maximum. At least I gotta work in another place later. But yeah, I mean, like, and what do you do at 4 in the morning?
So what I do at 4 in the morning is I get in my car and
What people do at that time? Let's get it.
I go to a park and like I will
Mm,
like do walking like uphill and then like I'll do like at this park I go to, it has like mini bleachers. So I like go up the bleachers, down the bleachers, up the bleachers, down the bleachers. Like I do like 6 sets of them and then like
that's so
I
good.
finish off. Yeah.
That's really, really good. Another thing that
Yeah.
I always encourage people is go to sauna. Sauna on the gym, like when
Yeah.
you sweat a lot, like hot sauna,
Yeah.
um, is really good. They're really good for circulation, blood circulation, and
Yeah.
like a bunch of stuff.
I mean, granted, like, and the thing is, the reason I had to get up so early is because, like, I know plenty of people who, like, I know if I don't exercise in the morning, I'm not going to do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am that person.
Mm.
Like, if I get through the end of the day and then you're like, let's go to the gym, I'm like, I just worked all day. No, I'm going home.
I know it's so hard. It's so hard. Let me tell you, after this interview, I have to go to a gym before going to work, and I have to do it. And I've been working all day, but it's kind of like it's part of my work. Gym
Yeah.
is part of my work. I don't
I
get
mean,
paid
I
for
get
that,
that.
fortunately, but
It's like, yeah, you have to do it. That's the,
yeah, 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 yeah. Sometimes like, eh, but then once you're there doing it, it's kind of like you realize um how good a decision you did. It's like, oh, I feel so good. All my hormones are okay. Now I feel happy and motivated, and it kind of like everything
yeah.
changed. If you get high right away, I love that.
Yeah, except as I say, usually on the weekends I sleep in. I can't this weekend because unfortunately I was like sick last Thursday, so I had to leave work early, so I have to make up hours. I'm like, fuck.
Oh,
It's
so you gotta
I
go to
only
sleep.
I only got to go in for like 3 hours, so I'm like I'm not that mad. Like
Oh, okay, it's not that bad.
yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
that
would
bad.
no, I wouldn't do a whole day. Like that's why there's some people who like every week go in on their days off and like work like a whole day. I'm like, are you nuts? Like, do you love your job that much?
Yes, yeah, yeah, I know. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So, what made you get into modeling?
My mom, I guess, she's obsessed with that. She's kind of like, oh, come on, you want it? And kind of like, I think modeling is really good too, but I don't think that I'm a model. I think like, I could be a good model for photograph or stuff like that. Um, but my mom always like pushed me to that. It's like, you have to be a model. You look so good, please, blah blah blah. So the little work that I've been doing for modeling, of course, it's for myself, of
Yeah.
course, but also it's to tell my mom. It's like, mom, look, I did this. Like, you see, I told you. So yes, yes, that's why.
See, and it's another thing where it's like when you do modeling, you have to like constantly think about how you look. See, that's why the secret is when I like quote unquote model for pictures, which is literally just me taking pictures. I edit the pictures the way I want everyone to look at me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
all you have to do.
Yeah, I have like in general, um, I don't do well with big corporations or big um regulations or everything I do in my life, or I try at least everything that I do in my life, I try to make it my own. Like not for myself, like build it the way I think is the best way for me. You
Yeah.
know, I don't like to, corporate things and things like modeling, you gotta have certain weight, you have to have certain type of body. You have to like fuck that shit. I mean, I have my own business. I can promote my own business, being my own model, and put my own
Right.
rules.
Yeah.
Um, I always work like that. I like to like I don't work for anybody. I feel bad when I work for people. It's kind of like, I don't know. I can't. I try it, but I can't.
I, first of all, I get it. I am the person who's like, that's why when I talk about being a musician and people talk about like wanting to be signed, I'm like, I'd rather do it myself. I'd rather go to like a distribution company and say, like, look, just from me the money, I'll pay you back. I can produce my own beats, I can write my own songs. Why do I need to go to a record company where you're just gonna want me to work with these 7 producers to make a song? So I'm gonna owe you all this money.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
that to me sounds like
Versus
a scam.
yeah, absolutely. Versus like Billie Eilish did. She created such a great music in a
Yeah.
small room with her brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's the perfect example that you keep becoming like a freaking good like a rock star in your own room. You know, like they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing is like I feel like always consistency and discipline is the base of whatever you want to do. So it's kind of like whatever you want to do, just keep doing it forever and keep doing it. Connect with people that you want it. Just gotta find what the fuck you want to do. And like once you decide that, just do it as much as you can. Talk with people,
Yeah.
do the same.
But to that point, I'm just gonna add this. Not all y'all can do everything.
No,
Not all y'all can be super bitch like me. Like, not all of us can do it. Like, I just
no.
happen to know that I can sing, I can songwrite, I can rap, I can host. Like, I know I can do all this.
Hmm.
You don't have, like, if you find one thing that you're good at, stick with that one thing
Hmm.
and work on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a little hard for me because I love a lot, so many things. I never in my whole life stick with one thing, but I think that's the best way, definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, again, as I said, if you can do it, do it. But don't just do it. I was just having this conversation with Tanner on Monday where it's like, it was the point of, he said, like, just because you can do OnlyFans doesn't mean that you should. Like,
Correct.
it's one of those things. It's like,
Exactly. You know how many people ask me to do OnlyFans, and I don't have time.
well, you're hot, so I'm pretty sure you get asked all the time, right?
Yeah, no. People ask me like, "You have OnlyFans?" And I was like, "No. I mean, like, why? No, really. Like, not now. I guess. I don't know. I'm very
First of all,
open. I don't judge
oh,
at all. But
okay, I'm gonna speak for you. Phoenix has too many fucking jobs. Shut the fuck up about him doing OnlyFans.
right? I mean, at least I'm gonna meet. At least I'm gonna make like 200 an hour. I'm not gonna put a time in there.
Yeah, because it's like, if you have like 87 other things that you're doing, like, everyone's like, do OnlyFans. It's like,
I can't.
see, my thing is, what I told somebody, it's like, I know at some point I want to put out an album. I don't want to sit there and have to justify, well, I did this because I wanted to like try this, but now I want you to take me seriously as an artist. Because as when you do that stuff, you always have to do that. You have to be like, you have to separate this from that. And like,
Hmm.
it sounds exhausting.
Yes. Totally. 100% agree. And let me tell you, sometimes, but also, you know, when I told you that things like I don't like when people limited my performances, sometimes they give you a challenge and that makes you grow. So it's kind of like we have to really, we got to be careful with that. When it's a challenge and when it's like they want to just, bother you, because
Right.
sometimes those things going out of your comfortable zone make you create something new from yourself that you didn't even
Yeah.
know. Which is that's what I go when I go places that's like, which I barely do it, but let's say this weekend I have a work that I have to do something, blah blah blah, that they ask me to do certain things. It's like, all right, I'm gonna take it like a challenge, and like let's see what happened, you know. But if it came out like terrible, I don't think so. But if it came out terrible, it's like it's fine. I try it, do something new.
Well, okay. I guess I'm going to ask you this. I don't have this written down. So, like, since you do so many gigs, do you ever get to the end of a weekend and be like, that wasn't worth it?
That doesn't worth it. No, because that doesn't worth it means like it wasn't enough money for my work that I did,
Right.
and I normally talk that in advance because I don't like those type of things. So it's kind of like I talk in advance. If it's worth it, I will do it, but before I figure out. But normally
Oh,
I don't have to deal with that, thank God, because I'm very direct and I relate a lot of the if it's worth it or not based on how much work I'm putting and how much money I'm getting in return. So it's kind of like all that I always do it before. Before
right.
everything is clear and like I have to go to a place that knowing that they're gonna respect what I'm gonna do, you know.
Right.
So yeah. I don't believe in free shit. I do not believe in free shit. The art it have to be paid, you know. No matter
Right.
which form, no matter how many years you have doing art. Art is a work and it have to be paid. So and this is for everybody who listen this. It's kind of like, listen, if you don't know your value, start working on that then. You know, that's kind of
See,
like my message, definitely. Because a lot of people hate me for that, because I just like, bro, I'm not gonna do it for that money. What are you fucking talking about? And people take it wrong. And I was like, if I don't respect my job, no one will do it. So it's kind of like I'm in charge of that.
see, I will admit, in terms of like regretting, well, actually, no, I learned from this. There is one interview, it's actually my shortest interview. Part of the reason I don't like it much was partially, I will say this. I don't like unprofessionalism. I don't know, maybe that's, but it's like, here's the thing. Like, for example, like, I'm just going to say this. Like, Phoenix showed up a little bit late today, but it's like, we talked about it. I said it was fine.
Hmm.
But it's like, when we've agreed upon a time and you give me no indication before that you're going to be late, and then you're going to make me wait an hour for you to come.
Yeah, no.
That's
wrong. That's totally wrong. I feel the same, to be honest. And you have no idea how much I ran today to make it only 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
I ran, like,
I mean, that stuff and like not showing up not showing up and not telling me like, oh, you need to reschedule. Because if you need to reschedule, hey, I understand. I'm human. Shit happens. Like, people need to reschedule stuff sometimes. It's like, it's fine. I'll find a slot. But for you to just like ghost me or like,
yes, it's terrible. You want to know something? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, gonna tell you like a crazy story because it never happened to me. So it's kind of like you talking about this. I have to talk about it. I'm not gonna be in a hypocrite. I say
hypocrite.
I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. But like 2 3 weeks ago, I was supposed to work at Boardwalk with Giovanni, and I have a gig before. I went work and everything, and literally that was my first time ever doing that. I have a very traumatic situation that I have to take care of, very personal, and I turned off my phone because I couldn't handle anything else. And you have no idea how bad I felt about it because I never done that, and it's kind of like it's not the way how I grew up. It's not the way how I I form myself. It's not part of my school. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I have to do it for the very first time. And then I was like, I was so guilty and everything. But the next day, I thought to myself, listen, Emmanuel is my name. It's kind of Phoenix, Emmanuel. Just like you're respecting your time. You know, you couldn't do it. You never do that. That's not you. Is don't kill yourself for that. You know, like don't punish yourself all the time for that because that's not you. But I have to say that sometimes can happen, and we're humans, and no matter how professional we are, could fucking happen that. And you have no idea how embarrassed I was. Giovanni, until today, he talked shit about that. Like, oh, I owe you. You owe me a lot because you didn't show up, blah, blah, blah. And like, we laugh about it, but it was very uncomfortable situation for me because, I didn't want to share what happened. So it's kind of like people think that you bullshitting and shit. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But that was the only time that happens. That was fun.
Well, when he puts that in your face, now you can remind him that he slept through our interview. Remember, you're welcome.
Yeah, I want to tell him. Listen, what happened with the interview? I was waiting for you. Now we're even. That's what I'm gonna tell him. Now we're even.
As I said, I only had to cancel one interview, and it's literally because it was another time when I was sick, and like I literally. It was again Monday, Thursday, as I said. Like, I had the Monday interview. I was sick at the Monday interview, but I kept my composure. I didn't tell the guests till after I was sick, and they said, "You were fine." But I'm like, I know my ass is not going to make it to Thursday. Like, I have to tell this guest, like, I can't do it. And I messaged the person. They're like, "Thank God I'm sick too." So I'm like, so that was the only time.
Yeah, and I always say this, listen, no matter what happened in life, just go forward. Just go forward, explain it, say it. Like, I feel that's the best solution to everything in life. Kind of like honesty, and it will take you faster wherever you want to go. That's kind of like part of my philosophies. It's like, because honestly, if you're honest with people, people don't like you, they're not going to talk to you again. And people who likes you, they're gonna push you forward to whatever you wanna be. So it's kind of like I don't know, my base.
Yeah, of course, support everybody, push them forward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vow this. I'm gonna say this on camera. So once I say it on camera, I have to stick to it. I am gonna go down. I am gonna go down at some point and see you perform. I am at some point. So now I have to stick to it because I said it on camera.
Okay. Yes. Listen, question: how far you are like driving from Fort Lauderdale? I have no idea where you are.
From Fort Lauderdale, let's see. If Miami's an hour and a half, I would say Fort Lauderdale's like an hour and 15, hour and 20. Think?
That's
Yeah.
nothing. I drive that every single weekend when I go to Wingwood to practice to perform. So now it's even. Sorry, I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking other shit. I'm just talking this shit. Don't
No,
worry, I'm excited. I'm excited that you're gonna go to see me. I love it.
yeah. As I said, I probably would have gone down on Saturday, but as I said, with me having to work, it's like, because here's the thing, I'll go down like a Friday night, so that way I'm like in the area Saturday. So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, because this was the thing. I've been meaning to see Damien perform too. The problem was the last time I was in Miami, when I found out Damien had a gig, I already had plans with somebody else. So it's like, because he
Well, but
waited
listen, I
till
have a solution for you.
yeah.
Look at this. You cannot tell anybody this, okay? I love this. We're working something together with Brian, and we're gonna be like doing something good together. So it's not gonna be too long, so far from now. So kind of like I think that would be a good excuse to go to see us both together.
That's exactly what I'll do.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Deal?
Yeah, definitely. Like when I find out what that is, I'll plan a trip down there and like I'll figure it out.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Will I show up in drag?
Of course,
I don't
yes.
know.
Thank you.
Well, this is my thing. And I found this out the last time I was in Miami. Apparently, so when I'm in drag, like I know tons of drag queens like carry purses and stuff. Purses aren't my thing. So I have like a backpack. So I went to go to this club, and then all of a sudden I looked at their list of rules, and they're like, no backpacks allowed. Even though my backpack's like that big, it's not a big backpack at all. It's literally just enough for me to like carry my shit.
Yeah, but here it's not gonna happen because here you can go anywhere with backpacks, mostly, I guess.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Even though we put it in my car, don't worry.
Yeah. As I said, I literally had to like, and then after that, I'm like, fuck. So I literally had to jump in the shower, take off all my makeup, get in regular clothes, and then leave. So it's like one of those. I'm like,
oh no.
I spent half an hour getting ready for nothing.
No.
Actually, no. That's not true. I took pictures, so at least it's worth something.
Yeah,
Anyway.
of course. So I have to run very soon.
Yeah. Okay. I know. I got to get to the end. Hold on. So what? I'll do. Okay.
Tell me.
Okay. Do you have time for me to do 2 more or 1 more?
Probably 0, but let's go for 1.
Okay. Fine. Then I'll make this one simple. All right. I know we started late.
And thank you. I'm so sorry. It's like
Yeah.
I just like kind of like get ready for being naked at Hunters. No, I'm kidding.
Work. So, what's the biggest misconception about you?
You want to know the truth? Oh, why are you asking this? Because I'm honest. I can be non-honest in my life. So, I hate. Literally, I'm gonna use that word that I never use that word, but I really hate when people tell me that I think that I'm perfect. And
Yeah.
I hate that. I feel like that's the image that sometimes I portray and I show, or sometimes the way how I speak. And my knowledge and everything I've been studying my life, blah, 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 blah. I always have something to say about something.
Right.
But in the moment there are arguments, on moments that I think it's a big misconception that people like really think that I'm perfect and I'm the most imperfect person in this planet. Like that's I think that would be, yeah.
I will say for me, really quick, I know you gotta go. So like mine
Please.
is a lot of people think certain people think I'm shady. I'm not shady. I'm blunt and honest. Meaning if I have an opinion about you, I'm gonna say it.
Yes. Yes. And honestly, I wish that more people would be like that. Everything would be more easy. And yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I suffer with that too because I could be a little bit tough the way I speak sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
hey, that's fucked up. That's ugly. That's this. And yeah, yeah, no, definitely is it's a challenge. It's true.
Yeah.
But you keep my ass with that last question because kind of like mm, that's something that's been bothering me a lot lately. People like when I get in arguments and stuff. Oh, because you think you're fucking perfect. And I was like, no, that's the last thing. I wasn't here. I wasn't
Yeah.
here. It was perfect. It's so stupid. But I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, it was a pleasure getting to meet you.
So much pleasure. Absolutely pleasure. Like I
Thank
knew it
you.
from the first moment that you DM me and we talk
Yeah.
and I'm always super busy and stuff and kind of like I felt some type of energy and now I can see why. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
thank you so very much. Like, kind of like to having me, thinking about me.
Yeah.
I respect your work a lot, and I love
Thank
it.
you.
I think like keep
Thank you.
pushing it. I really want to see you. I want to hear you sing, and I would love to hear in the future. Like music from you and everything because I think we can work together. Something.
Work. I love that. And with that being said, this is Gay Out the City. I'm your host, Prince Electro Diamond, and I hope you've enjoyed.
I love you.
Love you too.